Okay, so I literally 10 minutes ago just got this run, which is the fastest ever pace that I've been on. I'm a little bummed out that I've been getting a lot of fastest ever paces and not fastest ever runs. But this one, I don't have to put choke in the title, luckily, because I don't think that this one was a choke personally. But we'll see. So Ruin Portal Seed, um, looks pretty linear. Gold block there. Very good Ruin Portal Seed, completable, enough for a pickaxe. The only things that could have made it faster, I'm going down here for stone early because it's faster to get stone by mining through the netherrack. The only things that could have made it better are obviously looting and also a gold axe or golden carrots. But generally speaking, if you get a completable Ruin Portal with a pickaxe, it's a very good Ruin Portal Seed. Especially in on when it's not on an island and there's lots of accessible food. Like I already see a billion animals. Um, I do some search crafts. I do the OT search craft in order to get iron faster. I get a ton of wood. This is a bit of I wouldn't say a misplay because I was playing it safe. But on a seed like this, maybe I should have predicted that it was going to be really fast and not gotten as much wood as I did. I end up getting 15 logs, which is more usually than you would need if it's like a close bastion. But honestly, I don't really blame myself for it. I was playing it safe. I kill these sheep over here. It's so crazy that I got this run, by the way. Like 9:07 end enter. For context, my fastest ever end enter before this was in my original 12:54, I believe. It was a 9:44. So this is almost 40 seconds faster of a time. I get this pig here for extra measure, for good measure. I make my rune portal. I misplaced that. That's minus 2 seconds right there. I also made like a major mistake. I remember this. I made a major mistake in this run that cost me like 30 seconds, but so it could have been even faster. It could have been easily sub 9 adventure, but so obviously treasure visible right there. I pre-craft my blaze bed because I got wool from the sheep that I killed. I'm wide macroing here for a fort. I bridge over this gap. I could have probably taken better terrain, but I decided to take this terrain because this way I can wide macro more easily for a fort. And there's no fort here, which, I mean, I think this was just the right play. Like, I don't know where the fort is. Play it safe. I mine out a bunch of blocks with my golden pickaxe, because I obviously don't need that, because I have an iron pickaxe. I'm right at the treasure mouth right here, the treasure bridge, and I do the typical treasure route. And you'll see why all that wide macroing I did at the top was, not the top, before entering the bastion was unnecessary, right as I finished this treasure route. So, this is pretty typical. Block this off. I do the variation, I still do the variation where I build out the bridge first before I break the gold block because it's safer. I know the other way is faster, but I just haven't bothered. Like, it's such a minor thing and it's safer for me, so I just decided to do that. I do make a bit of a misplay in the treasure routing here. As you can see, the fortress is right there. So obviously I did not need to wide macro all there on the start. I also wide macroed there, which is like why are you wide macroing there? There's a fortress there, but there's obviously a fortress there. Yeah, I made a bit of a mistake in the treasure routing because I went and got the right gold block on the right rampart first instead of getting it last, which is the correct play to do. But I'm trying to see if I can see a spawner. I also this gold block drop RNG is insane. Like I usually never have to dig that block out in order to access that gold block, but it's okay. This run is still very fast paced. At this point, I don't know if I'm getting even 20 or not. So I'm like, at this point, I'm not too nervous. I'm like, okay, this is a fast seed, but I'm waiting for this pig to go into the hole. He takes a while. I end up pre-crafting my brick in order to properly blaze bed. And boom, I have everything but obsidian. So I need to loot all these chests, obviously. Flying obby, which I don't end up using. You'll see why. And then boom, I have obsidian. Here is the major misplay I was talking about. I could just leave right now, and it would be like a 430 fort probably. But for some reason, I don't see the extra stack of string on the right, and I think that I only have 30 string. So I'm trying to force string out right now. I throw a pearl hang here. And I'm just sitting here in the fort when I could just be out because I think that I have 30 string. It's only when I look around in my inventory closely that I realize that I have 64 string, and I'm like, oh wait, I can just leave from. And I pearl, I fire res in order to not die to the pearl hang, and it's a sub 5 fort, which it could have been a sub 430 fort if I realized I had string earlier, but sub 5 fort. This is one of my fastest ever fort enters. I think my fastest ever was like a 416, if I remember correctly, but that run died due to the abysmal rates, and also I missed the stronghold. We don't talk about that run. There's a reason why I didn't make a video out of it. I moved this zombie piglin out of the way because he's in the way of my blaze bed. And at this is when, like, I really start to get nervous. An alarm bell is, like, really start ringing. It's like, okay, this is really good. I have a bunch of materials, easily enough for 0. And then here is where I'm like, oh my god. Because I went 3 for 3, 3 for 4. So I have 3 rods already before the 6-minute mark. Yeah, crazy. I mean, it's just, like, Ruin Portal plus, like, the most obvious fortress of all time. Next to treasure, which I get 20, so if you get 20 and if you can see the fortress, treasure is fast and consistent. So I organize my inventory in order to make my beds. I throw out 1 string there because I didn't grab a crossbow, which means I need to make a bow. I almost make 2. Good job. Beautiful 4 spawn. I'm 4 for 5 so far. 5 for 6. 6 for 7. Crazy. Crazy rates. I know I can blind. I have all my rods. Literally all of the stars are colliding right now. Post-edit Leo here. I think I meant aligning. All of the stars colliding does not sound like it'd be a very good thing. I tried to gravel up here. I fail like 3 times to place 1 block. I almost fall off there, but I luckily soul sand clutch in time. Boat eye, typical. I use my DE search craft in order to craft eyes faster. Search crafting has been such a godsend because, like, drag crafting is probably my worst mechanical skill, like in terms of like how fast I can do it, like drag crafting. So being able to search craft like Eyes of Ender, or sometimes search craft like axe or pickaxe or shovel has been so nice. Learning them. So yeah, 710. I have the correct measurement. I'm leaving the fortress. I realized that I have to go out in order to properly get to open terrain for the angle, and beautiful open terrain over here. I know exactly where I have to pearl. I think I F3C here in order to get a new angle, if I remember correctly. After I... Oh no, I just rip it, never mind. I think I F3C after this. Yep, there we go. I'm 44 blocks away. I need to throw 1 more pearl. That pearl lands perfectly in almost exactly the coordinates that I need to be in, so I know I can build up. I'm about 8 blocks off right now, building into the lava, which... I mean, I've had sub 9 strongholds before, but I don't think I've ever had a low 8 stronghold before, like lower than 830. I accidentally go the wrong direction here for a little bit, but I have so much obsidian I could just build the portal out. And then, bam, 816 stronghold. I get my pie chart set up, I turn off hitboxes. I don't actually know what hitbox preemptive does. I need to learn more about preemptive. Like, one of these days I should just have a full stronghold learning day where I learn all my spikes and stuff. This stronghold gives me nothing. Like, there's a spike in every direction, so I just decide to go down mid first and check the library here. I decide that's probably the source of the spike, so I just don't commit down mid. I check this hidden for right. Nope. So let's go to the other right door. This leads me nowhere. Not a perfect stronghold nav, not an instant nav, but I didn't get stuck in here forever, which is the key. I look at this door. There's no button, so I decide to break the blocks under it. I almost turn back, but then I realize, wait, this is the portal room. And this is like I'm so stressed at this point because, like I said, fastest ever. And enter 944. This is 907. I don't even stop to pre-craft anchors because I felt that I had enough beds. I looked at the O value and it's 058, which is not. I'm not Loki. Like I'm not Dugile. I cannot hit a pearl clip 058. So I decide to just play for the insta perch. which is why I don't label this as a choke, because this is not a 0 that I could hit in any circumstance. Like, I'm not hitting this in the next 2 years. I would have to get much, much better before I can hit this. So I decide to not half bow. I do have a bow in my inventory, but I decide to not half bow because, like, if you're playing for a high roll, like, half bow is the way that you get, like, insta perches and, like, crazy fast perches. Sorry, no. Not half bowing is the way you get insta perches and crazy fast perches, whereas half bow is a slower but more consistent method. Like, you don't usually get max perches, usually, with half bow, but sometimes you do, obviously. But it's more consistent, is my point. So I don't get an insta perch. I'm thinking, okay, this is fine. This can still be PV. The end enter was so fast, and I decided to push pace so much that even if it's a 2-minute perch, it's still PV. But it's out of my arms, out of my hands at this point. Like, the fate of the run is in the dragon. I'm standing at the perfect coordinate and everything. I know I have enough health to pro in, and I get punished for not hitting the 0580. And also, I guess, not half bowing, but I think that's the perch. That looks like such a good perch motion, only for the dragon to fake me out. Like, if you know what perches look like, that so looked like a perch right there. So that's why I had to pearl in. And then here, the dragon's close. It looks like it's going to perch again, so I throw another pearl. Boom, faked me out again. Twice in a row. So now I can't even pearl in. I'm on 3 hearts. And I get the max perch, which turns this 907 end enter into a 1218 final time, which is so unfortunate. I mean, I'm not too mad at how I played this run. I feel like I played it okay. There was definitely misplays, like, for example, I think the 30-second staying in the bastion and waiting for the the string that I already have is obviously the biggest one. This could have been even faster. It still wouldn't have been PV, funny enough, even if it was 30 seconds faster, but at this point, I'm feeling pretty sad. It's still a top 5 run that I've ever had, which is insane, with a max perch. But yeah. Hopefully next week, I get the sub 11. And then I know that this just has to be it. Like, the dragon cannot, the game will force the dragon to perch here. Nope. That's how the 907 end enter went, unfortunately. Okay, so this seed happened literally like the day after my last sub 11 choke, which is insane. And this one is even more insane because I killed the dragon and still managed to not get sub 11. It's insane. This is the most pace I've ever been on, in terms of, like, for me, for my PB in a single week. It's a desert temple because, of course, it's a desert temple. Like, I always somehow get desert seeds as my PB. I see the village over there, but the seed type told me desert temple, so you can look at the footage. Like, my 1254 is a desert temple, my 1124 is a desert village. I recently got an 1128 in ranked that was also a desert temple. Like, for some reason, I can only play well on desert temple seeds and desert village seeds. I don't know if that says something about, like, me not being good enough at low food or low blocks. I'm not really sure, but yeah, this is insane. I can't wait to show you what happened this run in order to even make this possible. This was a run that, like, I didn't think was going to be sub 11 pace at first, judging based on, like, just the first couple of splits of the run, but it turned into something crazy. Yeah. I see that I have a diamond pick, which is really nice. I know I have to craft diamond pick sword because there's 5. Diamond pick seeds give you a lot of leeway in terms of, like, misplacing obby and stuff, so they're really nice. Also just faster. I do my crafting here. I see the river over there. I don't see the lava pool yet, I'm pretty sure, but I always assume that lava pools are pretty close to rivers, just generally speaking. Because they generally are, like, because ranked seeds are filtered to be good. Like, they're going to want you to take a linear path most of the time. I don't know if this is actually backed by anything, but, like, to me, like, I always notice that the lava pool is close to the river. And I also know that there's a village here, and I've always believed in the philosophy that, like, food is speed. Especially at my level, like, food is speed. So, 25 rotten flesh, no gapples. I decided to do a play that really made this run what it was, which is run to the village and get the hay bales. I don't remember exactly how many I remember getting. I think I got 4. Yeah, I got 4 because obviously I had the rotten flesh already. I should have probably... Actually, no, I shouldn't have. Never mind. I was thinking maybe I should have gotten an extra blaze bed, but with the blaze TNT, like, there's no need. And, with the lava pool right here, this is still pretty fast despite me, going to the village to get hay bales, which is nice. And it's not a woodlight seed. Obviously, desert temples, a lot of them are woodlight seeds, but this is a fast, tons of food, no woodlight desert temple seeds. So, like, this is a really good desert temple overworld, but that doesn't mean anything until obviously you get into the nether. I see the treasure bastion right there. I look around to see the fortress. I don't see it. I wide macro more to try to see the fort. It's very important to see the fortress on treasure seeds, because otherwise you have to break spawner, and that takes forever. You could also, if you were like a really good player and you can't afford to lose time, use quadrants to like make an educated guess as to what where the fortress. Minor movement error there. Another minor movement error. I remember this. Yeah, you can use quadrants to make an educated guess, but I am not at that level yet. I may need to learn that one day, but for now, like, the safe play of breaking spawner is good for me every time, in case I don't see the fortress. Yeah, 3:30 route start for treasure. Not anything too crazy for me at all at this point. Put this pig up. I make sure to instantly... I'm so annoyed whenever there's a pig standing there, because they knock me off so easily, so I always just give them the gold. One pig falls to his instant doom there. I realized that I haven't crafted my bread at this point. That's something I'm going to have to do while the pigs are trading. Because you don't have bread on a desert temple seed. It's not a common occurrence. Can I talk about how, like, the seed type thing in ranked is like such a great addition? I know they're just doing it for private rooms, but they're going to do it for ranked next season. It's so nice when you have 2 structures, you know which structure you're actually supposed to go to. Like, it doesn't happen that often, but it's just like a nice quality of life thing. Yeah, typical treasure route. It also does make the seeds marginally faster as well, because you know what you're looking for immediately. Like, you don't have to scan around for BT, because you know it's not a BT seed. I try to look and see where the fortress is. Nothing so far. Get the obby here. Left my bread. Replace it. I always forget I have a diamond sword in my inventory. So for some reason, I always know that diamond sword is better, but I always forget to use diamond sword. It's just because it's like not a very common occurrence. So whenever I do, I just forget, because I'm thinking about more important things. Like, when should I craft what? I see the fortress in the wide macro there. It's behind the treasure. I get a pearl hang off. I turn smooth lighting on. That's not a good thing. I try to experiment. I don't like how my game looks with smooth lighting off. So I tried experimenting with it on minimum, but like it just lags my game too much, I think, unfortunately, which really sucks. I try to look to see if I have everything. I don't have enough fire res yet. I only have 1 fire res, so I have to go and get that. But besides that, I have everything. And then boom, pearl hang. This is fast for me, but like the run I had before this was a sub 5 fort entry, you know what I mean? Like, this is nowhere near that, but it still ended up being a sub 11. I guess you can call it a choke for this one. Get this over here. These strays. I run down. I probably should have pearled down here. Aggro pearl in order to get further down this long pathway. I turn my RD up in order to try to spot the spawner. And then I see one over there. I do have a habit of like not aggro pearling enough when I have a lot of food on seeds, which is not good. I am 1 off of a donut TNT. I grab 1 nether brick so I can actually properly do the donut TNT. Look for my FNS. Clear out my inventory. I don't know why I have 3 stacks of pearls in my inventory, or how that can even happen. I don't have soul speed, which sucks. I hate properly doing this blaze bed without soul speed. I do not use my diamond sword in killing these blazes. Now I do. I finally notice. It's not that big of a deal if I don't use the diamond sword. It's just like, it's just objectively better, and I just forget about it sometimes. At this point, I'm like chilling. Like, this is just like a typical seed for me. Like a typical, like, decent seed for me. I'm not hard pressed over anything because the pace is not that great yet. Like, I've had sub 7 blinds, sub 6 blinds with, like, maybe not sub 6, but sub 630 blinds with all my stuff. So I'm like, okay, this is not anything real, you know what I mean? Make sure to refresh my fire res. The rates go nuclear on me. I killed this last blaze before I realized that I already have 6 rods. I was planning to kill it. 8-15 blind, this turning into a potential sub 11 is insane. Like, this endgame is insane. Like you said, 10-20 dragon kill. So from blinding to killing the dragon is 2 minutes. $858. I do this, which I'm really proud of. I don't execute this very well oftentimes. Because you just have to line yourself up so properly, and even then, you sometimes miss. Like, it's very finicky. But I managed to do it perfectly there. That's beautiful. I have all 6 rods, so I can just leave. Beautiful pearl there. Beautiful angle. I'm like, okay, that blind was really fast. It was 1 eye, and I also got the pearl trick off, and also the stronghold is pretty close. But I still wasn't worrying that much. Like, this stronghold pace isn't insane so far. I can't bridge with soul sand because I don't have soul speed, so I have to hotkey my dirt out. Still a fast stronghold, but I wasn't worrying at all at this point. And then here's the moment of truth. Boom. PR blind. One of, like, I think I may have only gotten this like a couple times ever in any context, any private room ever. And I got it on a fast ranked private room run, which is insane. I enter immediately because I have all my stuff pre-crafted. I get my hotbar set up for 0. I recognize it as 1 and 8. This is a really tall tower, which is really good for 1 and 8 because you can push really high with the pearl, so you don't have to bridge that high. And then, all I have to do is execute what I've practiced many, many times before in the 0 cycle practice map. I've recently done obsidian instead of anchors for the placement in 0 cycle, because that way, if you have to bail, you can save a couple explosives. First 3 beds are kinda shaky, but I have a lot of explosives. I have 2 more anchors. Boom. Perfect. But then I stand here, and the dragon kills me. The dragon hitbox while it's flying kills me. So I killed the dragon at 1020. The dragon was dead. And I mean, I was on 2.5 hearts. I couldn't pearl down. I didn't have my boat in my hotbar. That's not something I'm even really thinking about. At that moment, I'm really excited that I killed the dragon. But, like, I don't think that, unless I insta-jumped off and hotkeyed my boat into my hotbar and boat clutched, I couldn't have survived that situation. The dragon was just too low. My anchors were just slightly too early, and that's what caused the dragon to be like that, unfortunately. Which really, really sucks. Like, I really want to consider this as my PB, because it would have been like a 1040 or whatever. Like, it would have been 100% if I survived. But obviously, dragon kill, you can't count it as your PB. If we count a dragon kill, then Skycrab would have the world record. You know what I mean? So, it's very sad. I don't even know why. I'm just playing it out of spite at this point, because I'm like, dude, this is so stupid that I can run all the way back to the stronghold, go to the portal, and it would still be a sub 15 because the dragon's dead. Like, that's how fast the pace was. Like, I'm just playing the seed out of spite at this point. Very, very unfortunate stuff. Not that crazy of a seed, again. Like, this, I think, proves that I have the potential to do some crazy things. MCSR. Like, sub 9. I think I can aim for eventually if I get the good enough seed. is that this seed, I mean, it was just a PR blind. Like, that's a very rare occurrence. But, like, if I instant-nabbed that, it would have been a similar stronghold split. Maybe not as fast, but... Like, it just proves that I have so much further to go, even despite the fact that I feel really sad that I choked this. Like, I feel sad, but I don't feel sad at the same time, because at least I killed the dragon. Like, it wasn't like I choked the 0 cycle. I just died after the fact. Well, I mean, I guess you can consider it as a choke, because, I got the dragon too low with anchors, but... Very sad. I don't know why I get my boat here. I mean, I really don't have to commentate this. It's just a run back. And at this point, I was on, like, full autopilot mode, because I'm just thinking about, like, the insane thing that just happened to me. So, I think I end up dying here, too. So, yeah, that's how my potential sub-11 10-20 dragon kill could have been a sub-10 if the seed was faster or I was on better pace. And I end up getting shot by a skeleton after falling, because I'm just, like, fully not locked in. I got the 907 end enter, and I also got an 1128 in ranked, which is, like, this has been the craziest week so far in ranked for me. Hopefully next week is the sub-11.